We lead the nation in categories like education and healthcare and use of renewable and cleaner energy, and we got great outdoors and environment opportunities and pretty robust business and job climate, at least in relative terms, and a lot of great assets and blessings here as well. Some things we're focused on, though, is making sure that we don't have nostalgia as a strategic plan. As I'm focused on is trying to get people pumped up about change and the need that we can't have as a strategic plan for the future what we did in the 1970s. Energy is not just a cost issue, it's also now a national crisis. And we have a supply and demand problem globally. And if you have visited or studied China or India, just as one example, you can see the ferocious appetite that they have for energy and the impact that that has as one of the variables, one of the factors on global energy markets. And so we need more supply. 250-year supply of coal in our country, unfortunately, and it's available and it's Americanized. We don't have to get it from some place that doesn't like us, that's hostile, that wants to do bad things to us, but it's dirty. So it has to be cleaned up. The problem is the costs around getting to clean coal are not yet competitive compared to the energy on the market today. So the federal government, in conjunction with private industry and others, are going to have to drag 6 or 8 of these clean coal projects across the finish line to prove the technology, get the economies of scale in order, and get them more competitive. You tried to bring one of these projects online in most areas of the country today, the energy price premium would be 30 to 40% premium over market on the ratepayers of any particular state or region. That's too far and to ask of any one state or any one city in terms of a competitiveness factor. So that's going to happen. We're going to have to, in my view, revisit the nuclear energy issue. It's clean, it's zero emissions, and you can do it without creating additional nuclear waste, which is the big problem or hesitation with it. The French, of all people, are reprocessing existing nuclear fuel rods. And so they're taking the existing fuel rods, which have only contributed 5% of the energy that they're capable of producing, and reusing them. 95% more to go on the rod. And that will extend the life of the plant indefinitely and not create any additional radioactive waste. I think if the French can do it, we should be able to do that, and I think that makes some sense. And then we need to, on baseload electricity energy, move as quickly and rapidly as possible into all the alternatives, the ones that are economically rational and feasible. So that means more wind, and Minnesota's third in the nation in wind energy production, more solar, more biogas, more biomass, more geothermal, and more biofuels. But on biofuels, that last one, we got to make sure the pivot is also made to the next generation of that, because as you know, we have a food fuel tension and a food livestock tension. And so when you have that tension, there's better ways to do this to supplement what we have. Minnesota led the way on biofuels. We use more of it per capita than any other place in the country. It's a relative and good success story, but now we need to pivot to the next generation of technology on this that burns waste products, not just food, to make the fuel. So there's plants and places around the country that are experimenting with making it out of municipal waste, making it out of algae, making it out of fast-growing wood products or the byproducts or waste products of the wood or timber industry, making it out of switchgrass, making it out of corn stalks rather than the corn itself, making it out of other agricultural waste or byproducts. If the technology proves out in this area, it will be 8 or 9 times more efficient than the current ethanol biodiesel plants that we have, and it will use almost no water or dramatically less water. That could be a huge opportunity for our country. And then lastly, you're going to see in the near future different kind of cars. And not just people buying different kind of cars, that's already happening, but you're going to see different kind of cars. In the next 3 or 5 years, you will see on the road a plug-in electric car. That's not a little clown car, it's a reasonably sized car, but you'll be able to plug it in your garage at night. Say Chevy Volt, so they're going to bring it in for less than $30,000. Plug it in your garage at night, charge it up, and you'll be able to drive 30 miles on this primitive, or at least early stage technology. Most Americans drive 35 miles a day, and they will be backed up by an engine that you could use traditional fuels or biofuels. And they're saying a few years after that, they'll have the battery technology that'll get you up to 60 or 70 or even 100 miles between charges, then backed up by an engine. So in the next 10 years, you'll probably be able to buy a car that you will not have to burn fossil fuels on. Yes, sir.
You talked about the alternative energy sources that we have.
Yes.
What about the sources that we have right now, oil?
Yeah, we're going to need it all. And there is no one silver bullet in this energy crisis. We are going to need it all. And that includes using our domestic energy opportunities, including oil that we have here. But unless there's some new technological breakthrough, that will help at the margins. It's not going to fundamentally solve the problem. So, for example, with states' permission, drilling offshore makes sense. If the economics work to get the oil out of the shale in Utah and Colorado and those other places, that makes sense too. But know that no matter how good we are on oil, it's limited in supply, and the marginal ability to change the picture fundamentally is not there. I mean, it can help at the margins, but it's not going to be the total solution.